Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. So with that being said, let's just dive in and let's start off with this video here. So I posted a video about a day ago, right? Where I was talking about this global financial reset and the elites plan in place. This is from the World Economic Forum. This got posted directly after COVID-19, and they were talking about a COVID-19-like cyber attack that will shake our core. It will disrupt our financial system. It will disrupt every single aspect of life. Now, why am I bringing this back up? Well, we have started to see a lot of cyber attacks happening now. This narrative continues to become a big deal. And you know what's funny about all of this? At the same time, we continue to see a lot of faster payment systems going live. We start to see a lot of these major economies moving towards ISO 20022, and we see a lot of these PDF files coming out about CBDCs and how can we have DLTs connected into our financial infrastructure? How can we do this? How can we do that? See, the biggest thing is a lot of what we talk about on this channel and even around this entire community, right? A lot of individuals out there are making tons of videos talking about the same exact things, meaning guess what? They also see it. Now, at first, it can be a conspiracy theory. Oh, we're about to see a global system reset and we're going to see this new, financial system go live. And everyone's like, okay, well, like, how long do we have to wait? How long have we been waiting for this to go live? And the thing is that we're starting to see this playing out. And what's comical is everyone will laugh at first. Everyone will write it off at first as, oh, it's nothing. And then all of a sudden it happens, right? And many individuals will be shocked by what does happen. In my opinion, as we look at what's happening around the financial system, we are seeing a restructuring in real time. But most people are still oblivious to this because they are distracted by everything else going on and all of the mainstream media, catering to the retail sector and giving them things to, be distracted by. But as we do look at a few things, I did include this tweet in that video. This is from Finance Law. He's talking about this Killnet group that claims that they will launch a cyber attack against the Swift financial network within the next 48 hours. This never actually happened. And I even said in that video that this will most likely not happen in the time frame that everyone is expecting. Almost any time frame that we do see around, cyber attacks, they are extremely hard to predict, and they happen when you least expect it. In my opinion, yes, we will see cyber attacks against the financial networks that we do utilize on a day-to-day basis. We will see networks being attacked in real time, and this is going to continue to be a major narrative. And what they will do is they will utilize this as an example to launch a CBDC system. They will say, listen, we need something that could have offline payments, CBDCs, offline payments. We need something that can be extremely resilient and extremely secure. Again, CBDC systems. They are going to play this narrative into the retail sector perfectly. Like going back to this video, this World Economic Forum video, go and listen to this video or even listen to Klaus Schwab talking about these cyber attacks. It is extremely fearful. It's fear mongering for the retail sector to say, okay, yeah, we have a big problem here. Like this is very bad. We need something to counteract these. And guess what they will do? They will cater the CBDC system onto the retail sector like every other major innovation that's so beneficial for the retail sector, right? Comical. Over here, from the EIB, the European Investment Bank, we are currently facing a cyber attack, which affects the availability of the EIB.org and the EIF.org. We are responding to the incident. This got posted yesterday morning, 9:21 in the morning on June 19th. Very interesting. Now, this is one of the largest banks out there. If you actually look at their website and scroll down, we can see that the European Investment Bank is the leading arm of the European Union. We are the biggest multilateral financial institution in the world and one of the largest providers of climate finance. This is a bank that is very, very centered out on the World Economic Forum agenda. They are a very large bank as well. And guess what? If you look up CBDCs with the EIB, very interesting. This goes back to April of 2021. EIB issues its first ever digital bond on a public blockchain. Very interesting. And we actually do see down here, there's a few things within this. One, that they are spearheading the market developments in the digitization of capital markets. This was a $100 million or a 100 million euro 2-year bond. Again, all centered out on public blockchain technology. Project selected by Banque de France as part of the central bank digital currency sphere. Interesting. And guess what? This is all centered out on CBDCs. DLT, distributed ledger technology, is the crucial thing here. And also even settlement of digital bonds. I mean, this is wild to me that most people overlook what's happening within a lot of these banks. And guess what? These are the banks that are experiencing these massive cyber attacks. And oh, we're under a lot of pressure. Also, over here from November of 2022, EIB innovates further with Project Venus, the first euro-denominated digital bond on a private blockchain. Again, cooperation with Banque de France. This is within that CBDC initiative. I'm telling you right now, everyone needs to focus on this. This is a big deal. And also, last but not least, January of this year, EIB issues its first ever digital bond in pound sterling. This was with a few major players out there, but this is still on distributed ledger technology, infrastructure. This is the infrastructure for what they are doing here. Pay attention to what's happening here. Most people will look at this and just say, oh, but this was a cyber attack. This was a cyber attack to usher in the new system. And although, yes, I do think that these are the narratives that are going to play out to do so, you also have to pay attention that, guess what? Crypto is a vital piece of that puzzle. Also, over here, this got posted on June 15th. This was 4 days ago. Exclusive US government agencies hit in global cyber attack. This was major agencies within the US. These cyber attacks continue to be a big problem, or at least that's what they're catering it to. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to say, well, guess what we need? We need a CBDC system. We need to have an upgrade of our financial technology. We need to have something that can be extremely secure, extremely safe for the retail sector and for every single sector out there, especially the government sector. And here you guys have that video. This is from the World Economic Forum, where they are talking about pandemic-like cyber attacks. I mean, it's absolutely wild. Like, you cannot make this stuff up. This is their agenda. They create the problem and they already have the solution. And guess what? I do believe that the solution is going to be this new financial system, but it's not just a financial system. This is going to disrupt every single aspect of life. And guess what it's all centered out on? Blockchain technology with DLT. Why do you think every single one of these major payment services are going live around 2023, 2024, even 2025? The next 2-3 years are going to be the major building blocks of this new financial system. They are all pieces going live at direct times. The FedNow service, we kind of talked about this. Do I think that this is a psyop? Do I think that this is a setup for the major banks in the US and even around the world? Because this is a global initiative as well. Is this going to be an accelerant for the CBDC system? It could very well be so, right? We have to wait and see. We have to, make sure that we are focused heavily on this and make sure that we know when this goes live. We have to see the after effects of it as well. I'm telling you, pay attention to what is happening here around the faster payment systems. Even over here, from Payment Infrastructure News, breaking, the Bank of England, which we just recently seen collaborate with Quant on API infrastructure for, again, interoperability between DLTs and the traditional system, has today successfully migrated CHAPS, the UK's high-value payment system, to ISO 20022. Executive Director of Payments Victoria Cleland said the introduction of the ISO 20022 financial messaging standard marks a major milestone in our mission to enhance our RTGS and CHAPS services, critical infrastructure at the heart of the financial system. This is a system that moves nearly £1 trillion per day. Per day. Pay attention to this. And also, the IMF. Oh, look at this. This got posted yesterday, June 19th. The IMF working on global central bank digital currency platform. Oh, wow. Look at the timing of that. Check this out. CBDCs should not be fragmented national propositions. To have more efficient and fairer transactions, we need systems that connect countries. We need interoperability. Interesting. For this reason, at the IMF, we are working on the concept of a global CBDC platform. Right around the same time that the Bank of England just collaborated with, well, I actually should say it's the Bank of England and the BIS collaborating with Quant on interoperability between DLTs and even the real-time gross payment systems. Very interesting now that they are focusing on interoperability now with CBDCs. The IMF wants central banks to agree on a common regulatory framework for digital currencies. Wow, you cannot make this up. That will allow global interoperability. Failure to agree on a common platform could create a vacuum that would likely be filled by cryptocurrencies, she said. Now, the thing here is that you need to pay attention to is digital currencies and the difference with cryptocurrencies. Yes, I do think that XRP and a lot of the utility gems in the space are digital currencies. Cryptocurrencies are a little bit different. I know that you guys are probably going to think like, oh, these are the same exact things. It's the same way that they think about, how should I put it? When they talk about like DLT and then they talk about Bitcoin in the same sentence. Although, yes, a lot of this is still distributed ledger technology, we know what the real DLT actually is within the system. There's a little bit of a common problem here when they do talk about certain things with like digital currencies and cryptocurrencies. But in my opinion, this idea of a harmonized approach to regulatory frameworks is crucial, and I think that it's going to be something that happens where we completely cut the SEC out of the picture, completely cut Congress out of the picture. This is going to be the regulatory framework that we need to focus on. I even said it, like a lot of what we are seeing from the SEC is nonsense. There's a lot of documents out there that are already talking about a harmonized approach. The BIS, the IMF, and the FSB already collaborated on this regulatory framework for a harmonized approach for digital currencies and crypto. A CBDC is a digital currency controlled by the central bank, while cryptocurrencies are nearly always decentralized. Interesting. So again, here is something that's very interesting. They are kind of taking your attention away from crypto and saying, all right, CBDCs, they're completely different than cryptocurrencies. The thing is that CBDCs, they need crypto to thrive. A lot of crypto technology like DLT, for an example, CBDCs need. Almost all of these CBDCs are issued out on a private ledger technology. It's comical how they are playing the narrative like this. And we do see already 114 central banks are at some stage of CBDC exploration, with about 10 already crossing the finish line. Interesting. If countries develop CBDCs only for domestic deployment, we are underutilizing their capacity. CBDCs could also help promote financial inclusion and make remittances cheaper, she said, noting that the average cost of money transfer stands at 6.3%, amounting to $44 billion annually. Oh, we need CBDCs, right? All of these problems, they have the solution. They have the solution, a CBDC. And we do see that she stressed that CBDCs should be backed by assets and added that cryptocurrencies are an investment opportunity when backed by assets, but when they are not, they are a speculative investment. Interesting. Again, I even talked about CBDCs being backed by gold and by commodities issued out on private ledger technology. This is most likely what we are going to see. It's very interesting here, though. And you know what's funny? A few individuals from the community, like Cowboy Crypto, have already come to Twitter and talked a little bit about this. So we do see this report listed XRP as a virtual currency by Sullivan and Cromwell is directly from the IMF website. Yeah, it is. And here we have under this post from Cowboy Crypto. This is a Sullivan and Cromwell report dated September 26, 2018. A little more than 3 months after the Hinman speech was given, Sullivan and Cromwell goes on to describe XRP as being a virtual currency in their report. Here we do see the coin issued by Ripple. XRP is a coin issued by Ripple as the digital asset for payments. It is the token used to carry out cross-border, cross-currency payments through the Ripple network. It was issued by a single company, Ripple, for use in Ripple's business and does not use blockchain technology. Ripple issued 100 million tokens and has stated that it is, well, I think that they're a little wrong here. It's 100 billion. Also, even in terms of, or maybe this isn't wrong now that I look at it, but they are wrong in terms of like how Ripple created this, and you know, it was issued by a single company, Ripple. It's a little odd how they word this, but it's very interesting. But yeah, a lot of people have been connecting the dots here. They've been looking into a few documents around XRP and Ethereum and things like that. It's very interesting. But what I'm really worried about in terms of the IMF and a lot of these documents that include XRP, well, if you actually go over to the presentations, first off, here we have Ripple transforming global payments. You've probably already seen this document talking about the Internet of Money, how we can enable money to move around the world like information does. And check this out. So Here we have regulatory and policy engagement. By the way, this is from, I think, like 2018, possibly. I think that this might even be a little newer than 2018. I might be wrong. But here we have regulatory and policy engagement. Ongoing engagements with 40 plus regulators. Bank of England Accelerator Program. Ripple selected to inform the next generation of RTGS payment infrastructure. Interesting. All while, guess what we just recently seen? Here we have Bank of England successfully migrating to CHAPS, the UK's high-value payment system. And also they even talk a little bit about injecting blockchain technology and DLT technology into the RTGS system through interoperability with Quant. Interesting. And then also, the Federal Reserve, faster payments. Ripple was selected to serve on the steering committee of this industry strategic initiative. Oh yeah, that's right. What is the Federal Reserve launching? The FedNow service, an instant payment service. Also, Saudi Arabian Monetary Authority Infrastructure Innovation Partnership for financial institutions to leverage Ripple for cross-border payments. And then the IMF. Ripple was selected to serve on the IMF's High Legal Advisory Group on FinTech. All while, guess what? Ripple is being sued within the US by the SEC. It is comical. You cannot make this up. This is why I say a lot of what we see around the SEC is all noise. Also, from the IMF, this is from 2023. This year, trust bridges and money flows. You probably, if you've seen a few of my recent videos, you already know about this document. We do see up here that XRP is the only asset on here that is a crypto asset mentioned within the glossary. The USDC is also one that's mentioned, but for the most part, we know that XRP is the only actual crypto asset here because USDC is a stable coin. Within this, guess what? We do see under 3 models arise. So this is a private settlement asset and marketplace, such as Ripple's XRP, an open source marketplace such as the Stellar's Foundation, or more recently, and they talk about DeFi networks like Bitcoin and Strike. I just included this in a recent video, and this is talking more so about the innovation happening within CBDCs and a CBDC infrastructure. And what's comical is, guess what is mentioned as a private settlement asset and marketplace? Ripple with XRP. The only other assets here are Stellar Foundation, which is an open source marketplace, more so for P2P. It would be great for retail. And then those DeFi networks around like settlement assets based on unbacked crypto assets such as Strike, which leverages Bitcoin. We know this is all nonsense. Like Bitcoin with the Lightning Network, I hate to be that guy, but it's garbage, right? It's built on layer 2 network technology, which is extremely vulnerable, and it opens up the door for a lot of problems arising. So to me personally, really the only ones mentioned here that are worth noting is Ripple with XRP and possibly Stellar, right? Because they don't actually mention XLM at all. They just mention Stellar. Then also over here, from the World Bank document, this is from November of 2021. Central bank digital currencies for cross-border payments. Check this out. XRP is mentioned 8 times within this. I know that everyone out there is aware of this document by now because guess what? This is the one that started all the conversations on if XLM and XRP are stablecoins. They are the only 2 assets within this mentioned. And we do see down here, stablecoins for cross-border payments. We do see 2 digital currencies that fall into this category are RippleNet's native digital currency, Ripple XRP, and Stellar Network's native cryptocurrency, the Stellar Lumen XLM. Both Ripple and Stellar can enable faster and more efficient cross-border payments relative to correspondent banking. Very interesting. And this goes on to mention XRP a few times, but for the most part, this is the big document that got everyone talking because if we look, Ripple is a real-time gross settlement system, currency exchange and remittance network created by Ripple Labs, Inc., a US-based technology company. And then everyone was talking about XRP being the bridge currency, talking about liquidity and things like that from this and saying, well, is XRP now a stablecoin? Is it going to be pegged to a certain price? You know, are we going to have a monetary value put on XRP? Are we going to have a buyback? Are we going to have this, that, whatever? Honestly, a lot of it, talk is cheap. Let's wait until we see something happen before we even talk about high value prices on XRP. Let's get over $1, $3, $10. I would love to see the all-time high break first before we even talk a little bit more about some higher valuations. But within this document, it goes on to mention a lot of things. First off, they talk about settling of funds around like $10 trillion. But then they also talk about derivatives, which are $595 trillion within this document. Today, I think it's more so almost $700 trillion. It's wild. But there's a lot of money here, right? And DLT is at the heart and soul of this massive global initiative pushing towards faster payments, more efficient payments, CBDCs, CBDC infrastructures, and now we are starting to see the puzzle pieces falling in place with all of the major players tied to this going live or trying to go live with these platforms. These platforms are being created at the same exact time that these major faster payment systems are going live. Again, is the Fed now service an accelerant for CBDCs to go live and to crash the traditional system? It could very well be so, but we have to wait and see. But one thing is certain, in my opinion, the future is DLT and blockchain technology. Every single initiative that is experiencing problems today around the traditional system, and these are like some of the largest banks out there, they are so focused on blockchain technology and have been for years now. Make sure you are paying attention to what's happening under what's happening outside of the general public. Meaning, guess what? They could announce these cyber attacks. Everyone will eat this up all day long. But what you need to do is do more extensive research on these companies like the EIB, or I shouldn't say companies, but banks that are hyper focused on blockchain technology and the initiatives that it does unlock. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As was up to you all, have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. That's been Nick. Peace out, guys.